Fans out there last week. I am Nostradamus, the Nostradamus of sports. I am the real sports authority, Greg Rashid, and you fans of Buffalo who didn't listen to me. I told you that your Broncos are going to lose, and they lost in overtime. That was a great game, but they still lost. We're here in the Pepsi Center. We're going to be traveling everywhere next couple of days, so you're not going to see us in the studio, but we'll be everywhere covering sports for you fans out there. But I'll give my prediction later on this Sunday's game against San Diego. Both teams are 7-4. It's a showdown.
For Take It to the House, standing here with Kelly Herndon, who is going to do our segment, The Other Broncos. And we're catching up with Kelly here at the Nuggets game, and he's here to see his buddy Posey, who he went to school with, right?
Yes, that's my man. We went to high school together, you know, played a lot of basketball, taught him a lot of oops, so you know what I'm saying. I come here and make sure he's still doing his thing.
And is he doing his thing?
Well, you know, of course he's doing his thing. He right now, you know, the last two games they won, they were some good games for him. You know, he hit that last second shot. He needed that to get back into his rhythm. He is a little bit slumping a little bit, but he back.
Right, and he made it in that corner. That's where he usually has a lot of troubles too. At least last year, he would have a rough time there in that corner at the last second. So, what did you think when you saw it actually go in?
I knew. I kind of felt that he was going to make it. I was kind of surprised because, I mean, he was kind of good from the baseline in high school. You know, he shot pretty good from there. And so as far as that's fading away from him now, but he'll get it back. He'll be all right. He'll get it together.
Yeah, I have no doubt. So let's get back to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you came to be on the Broncos.
I'm from Twinsburg, Ohio. It's right outside of Cleveland. Last year I came here, I started off in the camp with the New York Giants, and when I got released from the Giants, Denver gave me a shot and came here. It worked out for them. They picked me up, put me on the practice squad, and I was with the practice squad all last year. And then this year I went through camp and had a good camp, and they kept me, so that hopefully I we keep on doing that and doing good.
Well, let's tell everyone what position you play, first of all.
I'm cornerback, number 31.
And we had this conversation earlier, you and I, about Coach Tootin' sleds. You attribute maybe making the team to those sleds.
I remember that, right? True, because I mean, them sleds, they get you mentally ready and physically ready. So that was one of the things that got me ready for that camp and helped me get through that camp healthy.
All right. Well, maybe some of the guys need to use those sleds again. They still got them around?
Yeah.
Help you get to the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, I'm sure Toot still got him around somewhere. You know,
I'll have to talk with him.
We might need to bring him out for every time we got a night game. We might need to bring him out.
Exactly. That's what you need to do. You heard it here. All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, Kelly. And
no problem.
Make sure you guys check him out at the Broncos game. And what number are you again? 31?
31.
31. Check for number 31 at the game. All right, I'm sitting here under the bear. This is Greg's idea because he says that the game on Sunday It did. It was not, you know, it was kind of a heartbreaker, especially, you know, being in the snow and everything that happened. You just wanted him to walk away with that, and to have him just at the last second just give up that field goal to take it into overtime. And as soon as the toss, they lost the toss, that everyone was just like, you know, it's over. And you hate to see that. Maybe, like you heard us talking to Kelly, maybe they need to pull out those sleds so that we don't have another unbearable game.
The corridor here during the Nugget game, looking at our various fans and seeing all the folks, you see that a lot of people do actually come to the Nugget games. It's not just the rumor that nobody's up here, but we're heading upstairs to the very top to talk to real fans. The folks in the front, they're not really fans. The ones that sit way up in the upper levels, those are the fans we want to talk to. So we're going to be doing that shortly. To the house. I'm just curious, we're at the Nugget game, and we found these 4 fans in section 378 in the nosebleed section at the very top. Just curious to know, what's your interest here? You really love the Nuggets?
Well, yeah, we love the Nuggets, but they were just sitting up here.
Yeah.
And we got a little lost.
We're with our brothers.
And we just ended up here.
Okay. Yeah. Big Nugget fans?
Yeah, definitely.
The Nuggets are great. The best Colorado team we have.
The best Colorado team they got.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They're just the best. You can forget the Broncos, forget the Avalanche. These guys are great.
Okay. And what do you two think?
We're just here for the cheerleaders. Yeah.
Can you see the game?
Yeah. Not really. We're not.
All right. Well, these are true fans here. And this is Greg Rasheed will take it to the house. And you want to cheer for the Nuggets? All right.
You know, the paper rated the Nuggets as the least favorite here in town. What do you have to say to all those guys? Now you guys have to at home.
Well, I mean, hey, go ahead and tell them go out there and give a fan poll. I mean, I think there are a lot of fans that, really appreciate, what we do out here. They really, admire us for our hard work, our tenacity, our work ethic, like I said earlier about, those guys who
are never here.
Exactly. Those guys are never here. They said we're least favorite. I mean, we know the Avs are doing great. We know the Broncos,
home.
well, that's true too. But hey, they're gonna turn it around. We know the Broncos are a pretty good team in this league, in this area. Hey, we just got to go out there and continue competing. I mean, the fans are looking and waiting for a Denver Nugget team to have some success, and we understand that, and we're trying to do it, and we're trying to pack this building, and in due time, it's going to happen.
Thanks.
So your impressions, and some of his impressions of playing against Tim Duncan and David Robinson tonight.
O que pensaste jogar contra o Duncan e o Robinson hoje à noite?
Eu tô jogando com dois astros, da NBA e dois estrelas da minha posição, e foi um prazer enorme, ainda mais ganhando.
It was flattering playing against two of my idols, let alone two of the premier players at that position in the league. So it was very nice. I enjoyed the opportunity.
And what has he learned by playing in the U.S., in the NBA versus in Brazil? The things that are different here.
O que tens aprendido cá do jogo contra si? O que aprendeste no Brasil?
Aqui o jogo é mais forte, mais corrido e tem muito mais jogos e todo jogo você tem que se superar.
The game is people are stronger, they're faster. The game is faster itself, and there are 82 games in the season, so you really have to bring it every night.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
It's crazy, but what I'm saying, it's like we always dig ourselves a hole, and what I'm saying, we come back and things like that. We can't keep relying on it. What I'm saying, but what I'm saying, we just gut it out. I guess. I mean, we need that type pressure to play hard like that. But it's just, I mean, if we could do it, get wins, and play a solid game and have the lead and not dig ourselves such a big hole, I think say we'd be a better team and things like that.
You've had to watch the learning process for all the young guys, but isn't the most important part, I'm assuming, gratifying for you and everybody else, the fact that they're learning how to win games?
Yeah, I think, it just comes with the, the pride thing and defense and doing things hard and right. That's what Coach stressed. And, we're in this together. We know that we got to continue to, work hard. And it's like nobody's expecting us to do anything. And all we have is the guys in this locker room, so we just got to go out and just, play for each other and, play to win. I mean, we had nothing to lose, basically, if you listen to everybody else. But, we think otherwise, and we know hard work is just, that's how we're going to be able to win games.
Like you had said, most people wouldn't expect you to knock off a veteran team like San Antonio, but doing it, now you have the task of going to their backyard again tomorrow night. What kind of game do you expect from them?
Of course, it's going to be tough, a back-to-back, those guys are going to be pretty upset, and out to prove a point. And, we just got to bring it again. We're going to have to bring it 10 times like then we brought it tonight, and that's just something we got to accept, and, and go out there and just leave everything out there, give ourselves a chance to win.
Nuggets come away with a win tonight, 85-81 against the San Antonio Spurs, but tomorrow night they have to go down to San Antonio. That may be a little rough. And as you saw in our little clip, that you can see that Tim Duncan's very upset. He left early. He had 18 points, 18 rebounds. But I think he's going to do something to the Nuggets tomorrow night. Isn't that right, Janet? He'll have more. I think San Antonio will have more control tomorrow night. Isn't that right? They'll do that. Oh, yeah, she's agreeing because she likes control. But anyway, it's Greg Rasheed at the Pepsi Center for Take It to the House.
In the studio this week, with it being Thanksgiving and everything, we decided we didn't want to show up and film on Thursday. So we're having a lot of fun with it, and we're here out at Dove Valley talking to some of the guys, and we're just going to introduce the clips from here. One of the guys, the first guys that we talked to was Ruben Drones, who had a wonderful game last week, made a couple breakout runs there, running back some punts. And why don't we take it down to Ruben and just kind of introduce him, since we haven't talked to him yet this year, and see what he's about and just kind of see what his feelings are about the team so far.
As a rookie, you're always taught that the best way to make the team is on special teams, and for me, that was the best way for me to do it because, I felt that I can make plays on the special teams, and I'm sure everybody else feels it the same way. So they go out there with a certain mentality and try to get the job done.
So a few brain cells may have been missing, but you've actually managed to replace them over the years.
Yeah, you try to lose them when you're going down and hitting the wedge and stuff, man. But no, I mean, like I said, you just got to be mentally tough.
Let me ask you something just about this team. You guys are tied, three-way tie. Is there any doubt, though, in the minds of the guys in this room right now that you guys are talented enough and you have enough talent and you have the best talent in that division and you should win this division?
We know we got the best talent in the division, but it comes down to us to go out and play, like we have the best talent in the division. But at the same time, there's other competition out there. Like Shannon Sharpe said, we're on the road to perdition, and there's going to be obstacles out there for you, people trying to stop you from getting to your road, to San Diego. But at the same time, we just got to go out there as a team and perform to the best of our ability.
How is it the road to perdition is what we're calling it now?
Road to perdition. Hey, Tom Hanks was trying to make it to the beach. We're trying to make it to the beach.
Michelle Bundy sitting here with Chris Cole, who has been on the injured reserve after hurting his wrist in the preseason. Chris, how's your wrist doing?
I was doing good.
Yeah.
It's doing good. It's coming along well. I've been doing a lot of rehab, and hopefully I'll be back next season and be ready to start here, working out and catching the ball here in January.
What exactly is it that you did to your wrist?
I dislocated a bone in the top of my wrist. I won't say the term because I don't really know it, but
something popped out of place.
Something popped out of place, and they had to go in there, cut it open, and put it back in and put pins in there.
Oh,
they removed the pins and everything, and now it's recovering well. And I can't wait to be back on the field and playing.
Yeah, that was a pretty serious injury if they had to do surgery and put the pins in.
Right.
How is it that you did it?
I was catching the ball over the middle, got hit, and came down on it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a freak accident. The doc told me it only happens to ski boarders or surfers or whatever. So
You've been up skiing in the mountains?
No, I don't do too much of that, but I was fortunate it wasn't a leg or it was something that I can heal. That can heal quickly, and as long as my legs are still moving, I'm sure.
If your hands still work.
My hands still work. I'll be fine.
Well, good. We look forward to seeing you here next year.
I can't wait to get back.
I'll bet. Thank you. Why don't we go down to Bertrand Berry and listen to him kind of disagree that he doesn't really think the guys need to be upset because they're just at a different level where they don't feel it's necessary. They don't have to do that. I mean, they were at a loss, and now they can just take it as it was and go in next week and work harder. Yeah. It seems like the team maybe isn't as upset or as desperate should be the word as they should be. Everyone seems maybe kind of jovial and still like, yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to do it. But no one really seems upset. No one seems intent. You didn't really, we heard about Rod getting upset there as you guys went into the locker room, but that was about it. You don't see people throwing stuff around or getting kind of, just the mood you would expect from a team that's lost some that they should have won and now is running neck to neck. Why is that?
Well, I really don't think we have the type of guys in here that are going to push the panic button whenever there's adversity. I think that adversity is part of this game. It happens every season. I don't think we're in a position that we need to panic and start doing those types of things because, for one, we're still in control of our own destiny. And whenever you have that control like that, there's no need to, go overboard and start scrapping everything you've been doing up to this point. You really just want to kind of calm down, regather, think about what's been going on, and just go out and just correct the things that you made mistakes on and just go out and play. I don't think that with the talent that we have in this team and the leadership that we have in this team, there's no need to panic. We just go out and play Bronco football, and we'll be fine.
And you'll be okay?
Yeah, we'll be fine. I don't think guys, it's really not the nature of these guys in here to just, get irate and mad and start throwing things.
Well, last year we saw a little of that.
We saw a little bit, and we were 8-8, so right. I think that
the frustration was coming out.
Yeah, and I think that we're not at that point yet. And now if we come in and we don't play well against San Diego and New York, well then you might see a little bit of that. But I think if we go out and we play well these next two games and kind of get some more breathing room between ourselves and the guys in our division, I think you'll see that there really was no need to panic in the first place.
One question I'm curious about. Do you think it's more of a mental thing, these losses, or is it a physical thing? Do you think you were just outplayed, or maybe you just made some mistakes mentally and didn't do some things you probably should have?
Whenever we don't play well, it's always on us. We never think about what the other team did to us. We think about what we did to ourselves. We had a lot of situations where we could have gotten out the field and put ourselves in better situations and made some plays that we just didn't make. And so we always look at ourselves first. We really don't worry about the opposition, about what they did, because we know if we go out and do what we need to do, there's really not anybody that can beat us.
Great, thank you.
Nope.
One of our favorite players, Lionel Dalton.
We never won. It's never room for error. And this game right here is definitely big. It's a conference game. Like I said, right now it's a tie, so everybody's fighting for home field advantage. So this game is kind of like a playoff. It's going to be kind of like a playoff atmosphere.
Mike Anderson also agreed with Bertrand Berry as far as the mood's concerned. He didn't think that the players necessarily need to be at that point. A loss is a loss. Let's listen to Mike.
Pretty good. Everybody's upbeat. Nobody's down and out. I mean, we all understand that we got 5 more games left in the season. It's far from over. And we still in the hunt, in the thick of things with all the other teams in the league, most of the teams anyway.
Not feeling any frustration at any point, thinking maybe you guys should have ran away with this couple games back?
That was Sunday. Frustration, if anybody was feeling anything, because I know I felt it Sunday after the game, and a lot of guys felt it after the game. But when you come back to work today, I mean, all that's gone. Now you look at where you stand, where everybody else is standing at, and when you look at it, I mean, we still in this thing. We're still right in the thick of it. So, I mean, you got to let the frustration go, and you got to focus on the next 5 games and take them one at a time.
Looking at the next game, LaDainian hasn't done as well the last couple games that he's played. What do you attribute that to, and do you think he's going to come at you full force?
I mean, every guy go through a slump where they don't play well. And I think that holds true in pretty much any profession. Guys go through a little slump, but at any given time, too, when you line up against a person, that might be the game he might come up out of that slump. So who knows? I mean, this game, it might be the game he might come running up out of that slump that he might have been in. So, or he might still stay in the slump. So you never know. You can't judge it off that.
I noticed that in the past, the coaches decided who's going to be active or inactive on the defense as far as if it's a running team or passing team. What do you think he's going to do this week?
You never know. You never know.
Specifically, Keith Washington, I've noticed, sits down when you get a passing team.
But you never know when it comes to Coach Shanahan, because, I mean, he always, hold things to the last minute, and when if he feels a certain way, if he's feeling something, then that's what he goes with. So you never know. You just go from week to week, day to day, and just play it by ear and see how it goes.
Thanks, Mike. Poole played one of his best games of the season last week against the Colts, even though they lost. Let's go down and listen to Tyrone.
I think you can teach it, but it would help to have a player that really wants to carry it out. Special teams, offense, defense. It's about you beating the guy in front of you. And that's why I like football. Football is almost like boxing. If I'm going up against you, I'm trying to knock you out. You going up against me, you're trying to make sure you defeat me, because if you don't defeat me, then I could cause problems on what scheme you're trying to do. So, you would like to have guys that already have that instilled in them to just be hard-nosed. And, teaching, that's the easy part.
Normally show the press conferences because we know they're out in the media a lot, but this week we're going to show you what the press conference is like, and we're going to listen to Brian Griese, Beuerlein.
Yeah, I really haven't done anything yet. I'm going to try to go out during practice and move around some and put some stress on it, and hopefully it'll be all right, and I won't have any swelling, and I'll be able to do some more tomorrow.
Did you test yesterday from some stretching and some more running and all yesterday?
I just did some drops yesterday, nothing too serious. That's the first time I had been out there doing stuff, and I didn't have any swelling this morning, so it was a positive sign.
Brian, how much do you
Well, I have to be able to do everything in our offense. I think I have to be able to move around and defend myself, but also be able to move around and make some plays on the run. And I'm not going to play if I'm not going to be effective for this team. And I think there's a point there where you say to yourself, yeah, I can help this team. And there's a point where you say, I'm too limited, and it's better to have Steve in there playing.
How much are you pushing yourself?
What's that?
How much are you pushing yourself to be ready for Sunday?
How much am I pushing myself? Well, I'm going to push myself, to the point where I know whether I can play or not. And it's a huge game for us, and it's a must-win for us, no doubt. With what happened last week, and them being in our division and being tied for the lead in our division, we have to win this game. So I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get out there and play.
Well, when do you think you'll have an idea about whether you will be?
I don't know. It'll probably be going up to game time, unless something happens this week where I have a lot of swelling or a setback or something, then I think it'll go up to game time.
How awkward is that race for you?
It's awkward, but a lot of guys have worn it. A lot of guys have played and been successful with it, and So it's just something I don't have to get used to.
Does it give you the security that you know that the knee's going to stay stable?
It gives you a little bit of security. It's not the save-all, the be-all, the end-all, but you know, I think it'll definitely help for me to come back earlier with that brace and wear it for a couple weeks, and hopefully I get to a point in a couple weeks from now where I don't have to wear it anymore.
So how are we entering the room today? From first string to second string, or by younger to older? How are we entering? Brian was here.
The same way we did last week. He was first, I was second.
How will it be Sunday?
We will wait and see. It depends on how his knee does today and tomorrow, and you know, my attitude is to prepare, and we go from there.
You were critical of yourself after the loss.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you obviously want to go back out there this week as badly as ever, because you threw the 2 picks, you want to get back out this week and get into more of a groove if you had some rest?
Well, you always want to play, and that's the attitude that I have. But you know, I was critical of myself on the one bad decision, which is the feedback that I've gotten from the coaches and everybody else. They felt that other than that one play, I played pretty solid, and that's the way I feel too. I feel like there were a lot of good things that happened in that game. We didn't have a lot of chances just because of the way the game went. But other than that one decision, which was a major decision, and I still feel terrible about that. You know, I feel like, given the circumstances, especially after so long off, I was pretty happy with the way I threw the ball and the conditions and the movement and everything else. I just wish I could have that one back. And obviously the first one, too, I wish I could have back. But in those conditions, I mean, Peyton threw about 3 more that could have been picked. But we just didn't, for whatever reason, get those breaks. And but to answer the question, yeah, of course I'd like to play. But as I stated prior to last week, when the decision was made to put Brian back in, I'm going to support that 100%. But my attitude right now, a decision has not been made. I'm going to get myself ready to play, and I'll adjust accordingly.
Steve, last time Junior Seau didn't play when you guys beat the Chargers here, you will play Sunday. What kind of difference is he going to make in the game plan and what you think they may try to do?
He makes a huge difference just because of who he is and what he brings to that defense as a leader and emotionally. Forget about the physical stuff as far as that goes. They just play better with him on the field. But then physically, he's one of the most talented ever as well. So a lot of our game planning will have to account for where he is and where he fits into the picture, because if you don't account for him, he'll make you pay. So. Yeah, he's a rare breed as far as his ability to be disciplined in an undisciplined way, if that makes sense. You just don't know what he's going to do. He can line up in the A gap, he can line up in the B gap, or he can line up anywhere he wants and still accomplish what his role is in that particular defensive scheme. And so you don't know exactly where he's going to be, but he knows what he's doing and where he's supposed to be and what his responsibilities are. So, and he always seems to find a way to get it done. And even when he makes mistakes, he's the kind of guy that can make a play to make up for a mistake. So he's a great linebacker, one of the best ever. And you know, he will be ready to play on Sunday, I'm sure.
As you can probably tell what I was talking about, you can see it out here even on the field. They don't seem to be hungry. So hopefully what I'm feeling doesn't come to pass, but I just don't see anyone too excited out here. I don't see anyone working hard. I don't see any of that hungriness.
Out here along with Michelle Bundy at Dove Valley, also known as Bronco Park. And like I told you last week, the Broncos were going to lose to the Colts, and that's what happened. I'm going to throw my prediction out here. We've been out here talking to a number of the players, and the mood is still, as Michelle will tell you, is still kind of light, which should be a concern for you Bronco fans, because you need a team that's going in against San Diego that's really upset, hostile, mad, that they know this is it. If they don't win the game, that's it. But they're still acting like this is preseason almost. But as far as my prediction for the game, I believe, even though they're going into San Diego, you're not going to believe this. You know they're going into San Diego. They're going against a team that is tied with them at 7-4. I believe that the San Diego team is actually a joke as far as being 7-4. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games. And for you Bronco fans, to make you happy, I think that the Broncos are going to win this game this Sunday by the score of 27-10 against the San Diego Chargers. They'll finish 8-4, and Chargers will drop to 7-5. The Chargers are in a lot of trouble right now. Their defense, believe it or not, everyone talks about their defense, but they're at the bottom as far as defense. The running game with LaDainian Tomlinson right now is kind of stopped because they've had to pass the ball. The realities of Drew Brees in his second year, first year as a starter, are coming to pass. He has 12 interceptions and 12 touchdowns. He's not a quarterback right now who can bring a team back. And because of those reasons and the fact that one of their cornerbacks, McNeil, is injured, he's an all-pro quarterback. He's out. He won't be playing in the game. I think this team is made to be beaten. And like I said, the Broncos will beat them this Sunday. And I think you'll see Clinton Portis once again going over 100 yards in this game with a couple of touchdowns. And I think this will finish San Diego's season. And it's hard for me to say this because you know what I really feel about the Broncos. But the fact is, I got to be honest, San Diego looks terrible. They looked terrible when they came here and lost to the Broncos 26-9. Marty Schottenheimer is a great coach. He has 160 wins. He's like 7th on the all-time list. But I just don't think they can do it in their home park this Sunday, even though the Broncos are acting like this is just a preseason game. It's nothing. The fact of the matter is that your Broncos will win this game this Sunday against San Diego.
Expecting was to watch the Colts fumble the ball as much as they did. A lot of times the quarterback can hold on to it a little bit more than, say, a running back in those conditions. But, hey, it happened. It made for an exciting game, like I said. And the drama there at the end, just you could have cut it with a knife, the thickness of it. But hey, it's a loss, and hopefully the guys can recover and not take it to heart too much and, you know, go back into San Diego. Last year at San Diego, though, let me tell you, I was there. The game was over from the kickoff. From the kickoff. They ran back the kickoff, and it was done. It was over. They never got back in the game. And that's what makes me a little nervous about this game. I think Greg and I are going to switch it up. I know the Broncos have yet to lose 2 in a row. Don't hate me for this, but I'm telling you, I don't think the Broncos are coming away with this win. I don't. LaDainian Tomlinson, Junior Seau, I know Greg was saying that they didn't do very well when they were here last time, but Junior Seau was out. And that's not even the same team without Seau. Yeah, they've been struggling lately, but so have the Broncos. Everybody struggles. Everybody goes through that point in the season where they struggle. But I just think that Seau and that LaDainian, even though we do have a good defense, you know, for the rush, and they're doing pretty well, I've seen LaDainian, and the guy is very impressive. I don't think that they're going to shut him down as much as everybody thinks. So everything considered, I'm afraid that this is going to be another dramatically close one with the Broncos coming out underneath. The score, I'm going to have to say, is going to be 27-24. Broncos underneath. I hate to do it to you guys, but I'm in here. I see what's going on, and I just don't see the hungriness that I expect to see at this point in time when you're neck and neck like this. I don't see everybody saying blah, 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 blah. No, they're just like, well, you know, we got to go out and do what we got to do. So, sorry, guys. I just don't think that's going to cut it this week in San Diego.
I just heard. I am stunned. Michelle, the #1 fan, has actually said that the Broncos will lose. I'm going to tell you something, though. I'll tell you fans out there, her intuition has been right all year. There's some things I'm not going to say on the show that she has said during the games to me that have come to pass. And I am just shocked. For me to say that the Broncos are going to win and Michelle to say that they're going to lose, I don't know what to do. I might. Okay, women's intuition, but the thing is, she hasn't been right. She hasn't been wrong at all. When I've sat with her during games, and this is kind of scary to hear this for you Bronco fans. This is a very scary thing to hear.